Before you pack a single box, this is what international trade looks like from the outside. It is chaotic, unforgiving, and deeply overwhelming. Many business owners assume the journey from a local operation to a global player is a single, straight ladder, and that every exporter requires the exact same support. That linear path fails in practice. If you have ever tried to move a shipment across a border, you know it is a maze of branching paths, many of which lead to expensive dead ends. Attempting to solve late-stage problems too early, like hiring a logistics manager before validating that international buyers actually want your product, causes the entire system to crash. Out-of-sequence investments waste more than time. They burn through your operating capital. At Trade Facilitation in a nutshell, we categorize businesses into 5 specific export routes, rather than generic beginner or expert buckets. Success in global trade requires diagnosing your exact operational archetype to ensure you sequence every investment correctly. Route A is the start-to-export founder. This describes someone with a product idea or a potential contact abroad, but no active business operations yet. Your primary bottleneck is venture validation, rather than shipping logistics. This calculation determines if your product is actually viable. You must take your unit price and volume and subtract the costs of production, logistics, compliance, and tariffs. Tariffs are taxes imposed by a government on imported goods. The resulting data tells you whether to move forward, pause, or pivot. Your profit must survive these deductions to justify a launch. Delaying the gratification of shipping requires significant analytical effort up front, but it prevents you from launching a venture that is structurally unprofitable. Route A turns emotional enthusiasm into cold, data-backed evidence before you spend any capital. Route B is the pre-export operating SME. These are businesses with staff and local revenue that have never shipped internationally. Your core requirement is first-shipment sequencing. You must build an export operating system that maps the exact order of local permits, commercial invoices, and customs clearance before the freight handoff. A freight forwarder is a firm that organizes the storage and shipping of merchandise on behalf of its shippers. Route B requires local operators to slow down and focus on administrative planning, so their first global shipment is a repeatable process rather than a fluke. Route C is the informal or suitcase exporter. These are often high-volume traders who move significant product outside of official channels. You are likely moving product off the books, perhaps through friends' consignments, without acting as the official exporter of record. Operating without legal control blocks your access to bankable payments and leaves the business vulnerable despite high demand. As you move toward a formal shipping model, your risk profile will plummet while your growth potential climbs. This transition introduces formal taxation and short-term friction in exchange for long-term legal safety. Transitioning to lawful compliance protects your revenue with a clear paper trail. This requires a definitive choice about the direction of your business. Evaluate your current state. Do you align with the idea stage of Route A, the local operations of Route B, or the informal volume of Route C? Route D is the restart exporter. You previously exported until a critical relationship or system failed. A safe re-entry requires a rigorous root cause analysis. Simply trying again is dangerous. You must audit past compliance changes or buyer losses to redesign a model that is resilient against the issues that stopped you previously. Route D forces a complete halt of forward momentum to fix structural breaks from the past. Route E is the active exporter. You ship consistently, but your growth is beginning to strain your current systems. Rapid scaling often creates a reliance on hero staff members who hold all operational knowledge. This makes the business fragile during multi-market audits. Scaling safely requires comprehensive standard operating procedures, or SOPs, which are step-by-step instructions compiled by an organization to help workers carry out routine operations. These, combined with compliance dashboards, distribute knowledge across the organization. Investing in corporate governance allows you to own the system, shifting leadership focus away from daily sales to ensure the business can scale reliably. While these routes represent different starting points, they all eventually converge on the same regulatory and logistical mechanics. These 5 operational realities connect to a single, unified structure, the shared spine of global trade. The diagnostic determines exactly where your business joins. Every business enters at a different point, from validation at the top to scale and audit readiness at the bottom. Successful expansion requires you to acknowledge your actual gaps, even if that means admitting a past failure or identifying hidden informalities. Identify your specific route and commit to your current operational reality. Building a global business requires replacing hype with objective, reality-based sequencing. Identify your route, run the diagnostic, and build an export path that actually works.